Here's something we don't do often, a tier list. I'm gonna go through every aquarium fish in the hobby, ranking them from S tier to F, and looking for debate in the comments. We're not going in any order, I'm just gonna fire them off here, so let's settle this once and for all with the beautiful tier list. Chef's kiss. Owning a discus fish is like being a high-end fashion photographer. You're constantly amazed by their beauty, but keeping them happy is a full-time job. These stunning creatures have colors and patterns that make them the supermodels of the aquarium world. But they come with one major requirement, pristine water. If your tank maintenance game ain't on point, these fish will let you know. Discus are delicate divas who expect nothing less than perfection when it comes to their environment. But let's be honest, they're totally worth it. Their striking circular bodies and neon colorations are the definition of show-stopping. If you're the type who loves a challenge and can handle the stress of maintaining a flawless tank, discus fish will reward you with their undeniable glamour. Just think of them as the runway stars of your tank. Beautiful, but high maintenance. B tier. They're S tier in looks, but their requirements keep them in B tier for me. Loaches are the quirky cousins of the fish world. They're always hiding in odd places, but when they come out, they're fascinating to watch. These bottom-dwelling fish love to burrow in the substrate or hang out in caves, making them a bit of a mystery in your tank. You might go days without seeing them, only for them to appear when it's time to eat, like that introverted friend who only shows up when there's pizza involved. I'm looking at you, Paul. Loaches are peaceful and they get along well with most fish, but they do have some quirky habits like their love for hiding. If you're the patient type who enjoys the thrill of spotting a loach after days of wondering where it went, they're a fun addition to your tank. We're gonna pop these bad boys in C tier. This is kind of a mixed bag, Some loaches, like the hill stream, are cool looking fish, and others, like the clown loach, get massive. Also, don't expect to keep snails around if you have any, as most loaches are going to happily eat them. If you've ever dreamed of owning a sleek, stealthy, and low-key stylish fish, the black neon tetra is your answer. These little guys are the ninjas of the aquarium, quietly schooling together in a way that's both mesmerizing and calming. They're not as flashy as their neon cousins, but that's their charm. Black neon tetras have a smooth, shadowy aesthetic that gives your tank a cool, minimalist vibe. On top of their good looks, they're hardy, peaceful, and easy to care for. No high-maintenance drama here. They school together like they're on a mission, creating a sense of order and calm in your aquatic world. If Batman had a tank, he'd probably fill it with black neon tetras. Cool, quietly, and effortlessly awesome. B tier for me. The average looks compared to flashier schooling fish, but their hardiness definitely makes up for it. German blue rams are the aquarium equivalent of dating someone way out of your league. They're gorgeous, elegant, and they have a peaceful nature until they don't. These fish are known for their vibrant blue and yellow coloration, which makes them an absolute showstopper in any tank. But they're also incredibly sensitive to water conditions, meaning that they're high maintenance. One slight change in water and they'll act like the world is ending. When they are in a good mood, German blue rams can be perfect, peaceful tank mates. But get on their bad side or mess up their water parameters and you'll be questioning your life choices. They're the ultimate you can look but don't touch fish, rewarding you with their beauty but making you work for their approval. D tier. Advanced care, but they look amazing. Proceed with caution. If your aquarium needs a little zen, the pearl gourami is your aquatic Buddha. These fish bring nothing but peace, tranquility, and killer style to your tank. Their body shimmers with a pearly sheen covered in intricate lace-like patterns, making them a striking centerpiece. But the real appeal? Their chill attitude. While some fish stir up drama, the pearl gourami couldn't be more unbothered. Big enough to command attention, but also so peaceful they could lead a meditation class, these gourami are the ultimate community fish. They coexist with pretty much everyone and prefer floating calmly in the middle of the tank, watching the world go by. In the fish hierarchy, pearl gourami don't need to flex, they know they're awesome. And that's all that matters. Goated status right here, straight to S tier. Bristlenose plecos are the quirky hipsters of the aquarium, rocking a mustache that's either totally charming or kinda odd. Depends on your vibe. These algae-eating machines are great for keeping your tank clean, but they can grow quite large, meaning they need plenty of space to move around. Their bristly appearance isn't just for show, though. It helps them dig around and find food at the bottom of your tank. If you're into the whole quirky but useful aesthetic, bristlenose plecos are perfect. They'll handle your algae problems while adding a unique character to your aquarium. Just be ready for them to outgrow your tank if you're not careful. They're the type of fish that start small, but can get pretty large. C tier. Good fish, but too big for an algae eater in small tanks. Looks are niche. Octoculus are the unsung heroes of the aquarium, quietly doing their job while staying out of the spotlight. These small algae-eating fish are the ultimate sidekick, keeping your tank clean without causing any drama. They're peaceful, they work hard, they don't demand much attention, just a well-maintained tank and a steady supply of algae. While they may not be the stars of your aquarium, Octoculus play an essential role in keeping things running smoothly. They're tiny but mighty, and they'll quietly go about their business, making sure that your tank stays spotless. Think of them as the humble, hardworking team behind the scenes of your aquarium's success. We're gonna put these guys in C tier. They are one of the best algae eaters out there, but they can do too good of a job and starve themselves out. Make sure you supplement feed them. Neon Tetras have the looks that make them aquarium superstars. Their glowing blue and red bodies are a sight to behold, lighting up any tank like an aquatic disco ball. They've become a go-to fish for beginners and seasoned aquarists alike, but here's the catch. They are as fragile as a house of cards in a windstorm. These little guys are prone to diseases, and you might notice them suddenly disappearing without much warning. It's gotten to the point where they aren't even delicate by nature, they just have been overbred for so long due to their popularity that occurrences of diseases like Neon Tetra disease are becoming more and more common. Because of this, they're gonna get a D tier for me. Cardinals are a better choice, and black and green neons are an even better choice. Sometimes just because a fish is popular doesn't mean it's a good idea to keep them. If you've ever had that one loud, messy roommate who's a lot of fun but also kind of a nightmare, you've met the fish version in Oscars. These bold, big fish are full of personality, intelligence, and attitude. They'll rearrange your tank like they're running a home makeover show, constantly moving decorations and plants wherever they please. They're smart enough to recognize their owners, and they'll even beg for food by swimming to the top when you're near. But all that charisma comes with a downside. Oscars are messy eaters and can be aggressive, so they need a big tank with plenty of space. If you're up for the challenge of managing a larger-than-life personality, Oscars can be one of the most entertaining fish to keep. Just don't expect a peaceful, tidy tank. It's Oscar's world, and you're just living in it, baby. Oscars get C tier. Great large fish with character, but they'll eat any fish that'll fit in their mouths. Plus, they get big and need large tanks. If you're the type of person that loves a challenge, Hachetfish will definitely keep you on your toes. These fish have one mission in life: escape. Known for their tendency to jump out of tanks even when there's a cover, Hachetfish are the aquarium's version of a Houdini act. They'll find any gap in the tank lid, and they'll launch themselves out like they've got somewhere better to be. Even with all their jumping antics, they're pretty cool fish to look at, with that cool, unique hatchet-shaped body. But keeping them in the tank is more work than it's worth. You'll need a lid that's tighter than a drum to keep them from making their great escape. And even then, they'll still test your patience. These fellas get a D tier. They're suicidal fish that are probably going to find a way out of your tank, so they should definitely come with a warning label. The Congo Tetra is the low-key legend of any freshwater aquarium. These fish have a reputation for being peaceful, graceful, and straight-up eye candy. Their shimmering iridescent scales flash in shades of blue, green, and gold, giving them a glow that turns your tank into a living piece of art. While most fish stress out with high-energy neighbors, the Congo Tetra glides through the tank without a care, avoiding drama like a social media detox. At about 3 to 4 inches long, they're just the right size to make a statement, but not overstay their welcome in a community tank. It's kind of wild that these shimmering gems aren't more popular. Seriously, how are they not the fashion icons of the fish world? They're low maintenance, peaceful, and perfect for anyone looking to add some elegance to their aquatic collection. Consider them the best dressed at the fish gala, no contest. S-tier schooling fish without a doubt. Angelfish are the regal rulers of the tank, carrying themselves with elegance and grace until they decide to get bossy. Their tall triangular bodies and long flowing fins make them look majestic as they swim through the water. And they've got the personality to match. While they're mostly peaceful, they can be territorial, especially when it comes to their space. They're the, I let you live here, but don't test me type of fish. These fish can be moody, sometimes showing aggression towards smaller fish, so they're best paired with tank mates that can hold their own. But when everything's calm, they're a stunning addition to any aquarium, looking like they belong in a royal aquatic court. Just don't expect them to always play nice. A tier for looks and popularity, doesn't make the cut quite to S tier because they can be bullies. Some of you might disagree and put them at B or C, but fight me in the comments. African cichlids are the fighters of the fish world, tough, vibrant, and always ready to throw down. These colorful fish can light up any tank with their electric blues, yellows, and oranges, But they're not just here to look pretty. African cichlids are known for their aggressive nature, often picking fights with tank mates and establishing dominance in any space they're given. That said, with the right care and environment, African cichlids can thrive and create a dynamic, colorful ecosystem in your aquarium. But, they're not for the faint of heart. These fish demand attention, not just for their beauty, but for their feisty attitudes. Keeping them happy means plenty of space and the right tank setup. It's a bit of work, but for those who love the idea of an underwater WrestleMania, African cichlids are the perfect choice. Easily A tier in my mind. Their colors rival saltwater fish, and as long as you do your research, you can keep a beautiful tank for them. Check out the card at the top for a video all about the various species available. If there was a Formula 1 for aquarium fish, Rainbowfish would be zooming to first place. These vibrant speedsters don't just like to swim, they zip through the water, showing off their neon-like colors. Male rainbowfish in particular flash their electric blues, reds, and greens like they're at a fish fashion show, while females hold their own with a slightly more subtle yet still stunning look. Beyond their stunning appearance, rainbowfish are hardy and adaptable, thriving in a range of water conditions. They're the perfect addition for fish enthusiasts who want beauty, speed, and durability rolled all into one. They are large enough for most community fish to not bother them, and they won't try to eat your fish. If your tank's feeling a little sluggish, adding a group of rainbowfish will turn it into an underwater racetrack, and you won't even need a pit crew to keep them going. S-tier community fish that can adapt to even hard water environments. Dwarf shrimp might be tiny, but don't let their size fool you. They are hard workers. These little guys are the pets that your fish have as pets, quietly cleaning up the tank while looking absolutely adorable. Some dwarf shrimp, like amanos, are excellent for controlling algae and keeping your tank clean, but they do require specific water conditions. If your tank isn't in tip-top shape, they won't last long. They are peaceful and they make a great addition to planted tanks, but be warned, some fish see them as a snack. Keep an eye on them and they'll keep your tank looking fresh while adding a bit of cuteness to your underwater world. C tier. They can only be display species in certain tanks, and those tanks will be small. They're usually part of your backdrop, plus lots of fish are going to try to eat them. Oh, tiger barbs. These guys are the definition of trouble. These little aggressive fish have no chill, and they are known for terrorizing their tank mates. Unless you keep them in large groups, they're going to start picking fights and causing chaos, leaving you with an underwater war zone. They might look cool with their tiger-like stripes, but their behavior is going to leave you regretting your decision faster than you can say tank reset. If you're not into managing a constant stream of fish fights, it's best to avoid these little terrors. They're bullies, plain and simple. And unless you're ready to deal with the drama or willing to add at least 15 of them in a tank together, they'll turn your peaceful tank into a chaotic battleground. Tiger barbs might be fierce, but they're also a huge headache. D tier. Avoid unless you want to keep a bunch of them in a large tank. If you've ever owned a betta, you know they're the main character in your fish tank soap opera. These flashy, feisty fish don't just show up, they arrive. Their long, flowing fins come in every color imaginable, making them one of the most beautiful fish that you can own. But beauty comes with a price. And betta fish are notorious for their aggressive tendencies, especially towards other males. Bettas can thrive solo, but throw in another betta and you've got a full-blown reality TV show. Their aggression is why you usually see them in their own tanks, often living their best life in isolation. They can, however, live happily in community and planted tanks. It's not straightforward though. They like warmer temperatures and calmer waters, and many fish will either nip their long fins, eat them, or are too overactive for them. Nevertheless, they're extremely popular, and they're going to earn an A tier on this list because of their specific requirements. Large plecos are great at keeping your tank clean, but they come with one major downside: they grow massive. What starts as a small, helpful addition to your tank quickly turns into a huge, slow-moving behemoth that takes over all the space. Before you know it, your cute little pleco has outgrown the tank and is causing more issues than it's solving. They're great cleaners, sure, but once they hit their final form, you'll be wondering why you didn't opt out for something a little more low-key. Plecos might be useful, but they come with a ticking time bomb of growth that you'll need to plan for in advance. D tier. Too big for most unless you're planning a massive tank. GloFish might look like they're ready to rave with their neon glow, but these genetically modified fish come with more issues than their bright colors are worth. Originally created in labs to study genetic modifications, GloFish have now become a staple in chain pet stores, often kept in poor conditions. Sure, they've got that "I was made in a lab" aesthetic, but their unnatural glow doesn't do much for their long-term health. If you're into the novelty of owning a fish that glows, they might be fun for a minute. But you'll soon realize these fish are more gimmick than glory. Their conditions in stores aren't ideal, and they're not often as hardy as you'd hope. Sometimes, the lab experiment just doesn't need to leave the lab. We're giving these guys a D tier, mainly because of the poor conditions that retailers often sell them in, and they're not as hardy as the original fish they were created from. Novelty fish at best. Swordtails are a walking contradiction. Sleek and elegant at front, but party mode in the back with that dramatic sword-like tail. They're hardy and can survive in a range of water conditions, but they've got a bit of a wild side. Wild, you say? Yeah, because they reproduce like rabbits. While for a smaller live bearer like Endlers or Guppies, you can maybe manage it, these fish get big, and that lands them in the D tier. They're huge, and they'll reproduce and overpopulate your tank. I'd take my chances with Guppies if I had to pick between the two. Fancy goldfish are the aquarium world's version of the Kardashians. Glamorous, attention-grabbing, and, let's be honest, a bit too high maintenance for their own good. They've got that classic rich and famous vibe with their flowy fins, round bodies, and larger-than-life personalities, but beneath all that elegance is a messy reality. These fish are absolute poop machines, turning your tank into a murky disaster zone faster than you can say filter change. Sure, they look fancy, but they've got a serious downside. They require a ton of care. A ton of care. The problem with fancy goldfish is that they're not just your typical aquarium pets. No, they need a massive amount of space, and the bigger they get, the more demanding they become. Despite their popularity, most people underestimate how much attention they really need. You'll be constantly cleaning up after them, and even then, it can feel like you're fighting a losing battle against a mountain of waste they produce. I'm not even getting into the breeding part here. Some of these fancy breeds are so modified they can barely swim or see. Yes, I know Bettas have these problems too, but Bettas are smaller and one of the most popular breeds. The Pleco is very healthy and popular. You think you're signing up for a posh aquarium edition, but what you really get is a poop-storming diva that's gonna have you wondering why you didn't just go for something more low-key. For all their fanciness, these fish are just one commitment that might make you second-guess your life choices. F tier. Large, messy, and overbred. If you want goldfish, consider a slim body like a Shibunkin or a Comet. Red-tailed sharks are that one guy who looks super cool, but has the personality of a brick wall. Their sharp black bodies and vibrant red tails makes them look like the rock stars of the fish world. But their territorial behavior means they don't share the stage well with others. They need a lot of space to feel at home, and when they don't get it, they turn into tank bullies, harassing other fish just for existing. That gets them in D tier. They get big, and when they do, they become bullies. Best in large tanks. Fancy guppies are the fish that would absolutely crush on social media if they could. Bright, flashy, and always showing off those vibrant tails. These little influencers are a staple in the aquarium world for a reason. They're hardy, low maintenance, and breed faster than you can say #tankgoals. Honestly, fancy guppies are so easy to breed that you'll go from a few to a full-blown guppy army in no time. Despite their growing popularity, don't be fooled into thinking they're all flash and no substance. These fish can handle a variety of water conditions and live harmoniously in community tanks as long as they're not paired with any aggressive neighbors. Sure, they may not be the rarest fish on the block, but they've got that classic charm that never goes out of style. Just be ready for more guppies than you know what to do with. Guppy gang assemble! B tier because of how quickly they breed, but this can also be resolved if you keep males. More advanced and probably something I need to cover in a later video. If your aquarium was high school, the Corydoras would be the unsung heroes, quietly keeping everything running smoothly behind the scenes. They spend their days vacuuming up any leftover food or debris and making sure your tank stays tidy without causing a fuss. The best part? They do all this while looking adorable with their tiny little whiskers and peaceful demeanor. Corydoras aren't just hard workers, they're also super chill. They get along with just about anybody. They'll peacefully scoot around the bottom of the tank minding their own business, keeping things clean without starting drama. Next time you're admiring your sparkling tank, just remember to give a nod of respect to your Corydoras. They've earned it. B tier. They're cute, but they won't make the tank shine alone. But they are great complementary fish to any aquarium. Cardinal Tetras are the epitome of elegance in the Tetra world, with their striking red and blue coloration making them a favorite among fish keepers. While they may be peaceful, they're also a little bit delicate. Cardinal Tetras require stable water conditions and a well-maintained tank to stay healthy, making them more high maintenance than your average Tetra. If you're willing to put in the work to keep them happy, these Tetras will reward you with their stunning appearance and peaceful nature. They're a fish that look perfect on the outside, but need a little bit of extra attention behind the scenes. Treat them well, and they'll become the crown jewel of your aquarium. We're gonna put these guys in C tier. They require more care, but look amazing in an aquascape. Personally, I think they are the better choice than neons if I had to pick between the two. Pea Puffers are basically the fish version of a short person with a huge attitude. They might be small, but they pack a serious punch. Aggressive and territorial, they need live food and will let you know when they're not happy. And despite their cute wide-eyed appearance, Pea Puffers are the ones who start fights at the family dinner table for no reason. If you're looking for something small and feisty, these little warriors are perfect. Just don't expect them to play nice with others. Pea Puffers come with big fish energy and a bite-sized package, and they're not afraid to throw their weight around. You'll be entertained, sure, but your other fish might not appreciate their fiery personality. Pea Puffers go in D tier. They're not community fish, and they're best kept with their own kind, but my gosh, they're just so cute. Rummy-nosed Tetras are the ultimate team players. They stick together in schools, moving in perfect harmony as if they've been training for aquatic synchronized swimming. Their bright red noses make them easy to spot, and while they're all moving together, it is mesmerizing to watch. In a peaceful community tank, these fish are the calm, collected swimmers that bring a sense of balance to the chaos. They don't need to be the center of attention, but they definitely add a layer of finesse to any aquarium. If your tank is a bit disjointed, adding a school of rummy-nosed Tetras can turn it into a well-orchestrated masterpiece. Plus, their schooling behavior helps keep them safe, so they're both practical and beautiful. You won't find them stirring up drama. They're too busy being the reliable, synchronized team everyone else aspires to be. A tier on how well they fit in most community tanks. They don't hit S tier for me though, just due to looks. How do you feel about the list? Let me know in the comments below. And if you love videos like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more fishy content. You can also visit our website for more in-depth articles. And you can also leave me a super thanks to help support the channel. Or better yet, click on the next video. Until next time, keep your tanks clean and your fish fabulous.